What's up everybody, Brian Tong here, and this is my review for Sony's all-new XM5 noise-canceling headphones, and really, it is one of the most popular, highly sought-after models every time a new one comes out. You know, the XM4s, those have been my go-to headset for when I travel because, you know, their fit, their feel, and their sound quality, and I've owned every model since the XM2s in 2017, so I'm excited to see what improvements Sony has made this year with the XM5s. And you can call them the Sony WH-1000XM5s or just the XM5s or the M5s or the Mark 5s. I call them the XM5s. And full disclosure, big thanks to Sony for providing these for the purpose of this review. You know, the XM5s are a true next-gen product because they have a new design, a new audio driver, and new processing. So let's do this first. Let's unbox them and see what is inside, and we're gonna find out if Sony succeeds in making these XM5s even better than the XM4s, which were really close to near perfect over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones for me. So I have the XM5s here in their box, and look, Sony's made them nice and special, so let's crack into this. First of all, you have this packaging here. This is all, no plastic materials are used in this packaging. They've done this before. They also kind of have a clever way of presenting the product. So let's just, you know, it says open. So I'm gonna pull this tab first, tear the cardboard. I mean, look at that cool logo design right there. Oh man, like these look modern and fresh and new. It says the 1000X series here on the box, and I'm just gonna give it the, whoa! Okay, we've got the case. This is a new case. Oh, it's like a, kind of a textured cloth material, and on here this is instructions for how to sync it up with the app. It's got a QR code, and then it also shows off 360 reality audio. We know it supports that, and talks about like, oh, okay, don't use them in the rain, and then here's the manual. So let's get to it. All right, so I'm going to just take this around the side, and this seems to kind of like the big reveal. Should we do the big reveal? Here we go. Oh, ooh. Oh my God, this is, these are love at first sight. I mean, oh man, I'm just saying, I know they're a little lighter. I think they're 4 grams lighter, but they do feel a little lighter. They've always been like presented, you know, this in their case, but this is like a really truly molded case that matches this. I mean, this is just so clean looking. Look at how clean these look. Oh my God. And then let's not forget about this case. I mean, you're gonna be carrying this with you all the time. It is, at least it takes up a little more space compared to the XM4 case. You can see that here. But then because you don't fold these, they just lay flat here. You can see here, it is really like perfectly sculpted to it. And then it has a compartment here to hold your 3.5 millimeter cable. That's if you want like a physical hardline connection to your audio source. And then you have the USB-C to USB-A. This is to charge it. But these are no longer, you know, the foldable collapsible headphones. This design, although like these swivel really nice, it is flatter. So that means that this case, when you zip it up, it's gonna take up a little more space. I love this minimalist and clean line design. I mean, the headband here, like it's thinner. It contacts the ear cups at a single point. I just absolutely love how these look. They come in black and they come in silver. The silver color is more of like a bone white, so I'm probably gonna go for that one. Like, damn, I really think that this looks so dope, and Sony is using new synthetic leather here for the ear cups, so I can even kind of see when I look at it in the light, in the material, it looks a little different. And this is new specifically for the XM5s. We know that the sound quality on these have always been excellent, and I've loved how the XM4s had a little more like boom and a little more bass in them, but it wasn't really overwhelming or dominating, let's say something like the Beats headphones could be. And you can obviously tune it the way you want in the app with the equalizer, but I'm just gonna give you a good look around, okay? These are freaking sweet. Now, I'm gonna actually pull out the XM4s here, and I'm gonna put this case to the side temporarily, just temporarily, so we can kind of get a good look at these. Let's do this. Over here are the XM4s, which also looked almost nearly identical to the XM3s. over here are the XM5s, and you can just see how they've really streamlined this entire design and completely kind of modernized this. I'm getting giddy about these. Kind of look like a piece of modern art. I swear, like the way they're designed, the clean lines on them, so amazing. So let's look over here, and I want to talk about the sound and the audio quality, because here in the XM4s, they previously used a 40mm driver in these headphones, but Sony's now using a new 30mm driver in the XM5s. It still supports LDAC and DSEE Extreme for enhanced audio, but this new 30mm driver, this is using a new carbon material, fiber material inside, so it's going to be lighter. They say it's going to be more durable. But I think my first question with these is that, will it take some of that oomph out that the 4s have with their 40mm driver, because these now have a smaller driver instead? But Sony says that you're going to get the same signature sound, but with even better mids and highs, and they specifically called out female vocals or strings in classical music genres. So we're gonna have to try them out and hear that for ourselves. Now, noise canceling has always been a top priority here, and they are super boosting it now with 2 processors. So they're actually using the HD noise canceling QN1 processor from the previous WH-1000XM4s, and then they're also using the integrated V1 processor from the WF-XM4s, those are the wireless earbuds. They're putting both of them inside these XM5s. These headphones also bring twice the mics, so it used to be 4, now it's 8 mics around them to help reduce high frequency noise, and it's all controlled by those 2 processors that they put inside. And then before, you had to hold down like a button to use the auto noise canceling optimizer. Depending on where you were, it kind of ran through a little prompt to optimize it for you. Well, now the optimization is all happening in the background. You never have to do any type of prompt like that again. It's doing it all on its own. Now, feature-wise, it has multi-point connectivity, so that's up to 2 Bluetooth devices at the same time. It still has touch controls on the ear cup, so when you pop these on, let's see which one's right and which one's left. You can do that for, man, even just putting these on without turning them on, they sound really good, like they're killing the sound. You can change, you can swipe, you can change tracks, you can tap to pause tracks, you can go up and down for volume, or even activate your voice assistant. These do also have speak to chat, so that allows you to keep them on, and when you're walking around, let's say you're walking around on the street, or you're going to a coffee shop, you can have small conversations while still wearing the headphones, and it's gonna pause the music you were listening to. It's cool, but I do think it's still like a weird social thing to have big headphones on while talking to someone, but it absolutely works. I will say though, if I've said this before on the XM4s, it was the first time they put them on there. If you like to sing, to your music while listening, you're gonna wanna turn off speak to chat in the app, because it's gonna stop the music. And then it also detects when you're wearing them over your ears compared to resting them on your neck or taking them off completely. It has that sensor. One of the biggest knocks though has been that over-ear headphones, cans like this, they still don't have the best hands-free call quality. And that's been the same knock on the XM3s and the XM4s. So the XM5s, they now use 4 beamforming microphones and Sony's AI-based noise reduction. So I decided to do a call quality comparison. So let's just see what it sounds like.
All right, this is test 1 using the iPhone mic. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
So what do you think about that? I know that it's not going to compare to actually speaking directly into a phone mic, but the XM4s to the XM5s, not as much of a difference as I expected, but it still is at least better on the XM5s. But obviously I didn't put these in like the noisiest of places, but you could hear the improvement. Now you're gonna get the same roughly 30-hour battery life as the XM4s, but the big improvement here now is a new quick charge, right? So you get a 3-minute quick charge that gives you 3 hours of listening time on the XM5s. The previous XM4s only have a 10-minute quick charge for 5 hours of juice. Now these XM5s can also do that. 10 minutes for a 5-hour charge, but they now add that faster 3 minutes for 3 hours. So they brought this all new design, which I love how these look. I mean, I can't wait to just like rock these in public and see if anyone notices or not, because they don't care. You got the improved noise canceling. You have new features while also reducing the weight by about 4 grams. Right when I pick these up, I mean, they feel nice and light. But these all new XM5s are gonna retail for $399 as the flagship noise canceling headphone for Sony. but then Sony's gonna still keep the XM4s on the market for a lower retail price at $349. These are already freaking, without even me running them through my test yet, they are freaking impressive out of the box. I mean, I love how they look. I love how they feel. I do think this armband over time, it doesn't feel like it's not heavy. These things, you know, aren't like super heavy cans like the AirPods Max, but you know what? It's always gonna be about the sound. Sound always matters, and you know that I wanna give you the best listening experience to hear the difference for yourself, so you know what time it is.
It's time for the binaural experience.
And if you don't know what this is, I'm using a special high-quality binaural microphone from 3DO that captures audio exactly the way you hear it. It's called the FreeSpace XLR, and you can go to the link in my description or on this video to see all those nitty-gritty details for how I make these recordings to bring you the best representation of what headphones sound like when they're on your ears. We're using no equalizer settings for the respective apps, just the default sound profile for each headphone over a hardwire connection. And if you don't believe it, watch my explanation and my AirPods Max video review because it totally works. Now, this is really the best way to hear the tone, the clarity, and sound quality from each of these headphones for yourself. The differences can be subtle. Like, I like closing my eyes when I listen, but many of you will be able to tell the difference if you're listening carefully with over-the-ear headphones like these, and that's gonna be the best experience. You know, my observations here, they're subjective because we all do hear things differently, and I'm gonna give you my impressions, but that's why I do this, so you can hear for yourself, you can make your own judgments, and then you can all put them in the comments and below. All right, enough talking. First up, can we really hear any significant differences between the XM4s and the new XM5s? Let's find out.
It's time for the binaural experience.
10 toes down, I'm a ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. 10 toes down, I'm a ride with the gang. My whole life I've been doing my thing. Get that money, ain't no thing. Anything I do for the gang. Anything I do for the gang. Took those L's and I took that blame. All money in, we ain't copping no change. Feel like Ice Cube, cause a dead good day. Don't need three. Like a drug that I just can't deny, giving me the best high. My body's shaking every time you get into my mind. Like a fire, burning wild in my heart. Take me far away in the dark. Only you can show me how to come alive. I feel shivers down my spine. I've been waiting for a long time. So I need to make you mine. Think I want you in my bloodline.
I'm gonna tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go. Yes, I'm gonna let you know just how much I tell your mama, I tell your papa too. I'm gonna let everyone know about my love, so I really hope you love me too. Yeah, I really hope you love me too.
Ooh, okay. You know, I don't know what you heard, but I heard cleaner highs and mids on the new XM5s, and I knew that the XM4s, they always have that extra bass that sounded a little muddy at times before, but the XM5s, I think they really emphasize that. And the XM4s, they can easily hit, those lower, deeper, fuller bass tones with their 40mm drivers. I mean, you can hear the difference here in this comparison, but the XM5s, they just sound more balanced and cleaner overall and more open. There's just a bigger soundstage. It sounds like that if you're more bottled up, you'd be listening to the XM4s. It just seems like there's kind of like a cover over you. And then depending on the genre of music you listen to, I think you might actually have a preference for one versus the other, and you'll always be able to use the equalizer to tune it yourself if you want. But even with a little less oomph, the XM5s sounded better overall to me. And now I'm gonna wait for your comments. Like tick, 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 tick. All right, let's get over to the competition. And Bose, they went back to the roots with the QC45s, bringing back their lighter design and form factor from the QC35s. And I'm glad they did. While everyone was raving about those 700s, I was on the record multiple times for saying that they were worse in every way, from sound quality to comfort, other than looking cooler. So here we go.
It's time for the binaural experience.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on blinking, she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up, wait till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama tell.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time you tell me I look good and that I'm doing fine, but nothing ever changes. And now I see, baby, you are hurting me. Stuck in repeat. Stop lying. I know you played your part, but baby, it's breaking my heart. How could I know? If you don't need me, just let me know when I go.
Ooh, okay, another battle here between two titans, but I'm sorry. Like, Bose, I know you're known for very good highs, but these XM5s, the new 30mm driver just outperform Bose, even in the classical music comparison for me, with cleaner and more open surrounding highs. I mean, they just sound flatter and less dynamic here, and the QC45s, yeah, they bring a little better bass compared to previous models, but it just doesn't compare to what the XM5s bring this year by a mile. So Bose, we know they have a great reputation. I mean, I used to be all about them back in the day, but I'm always surprised by how poorly they fare in these sound comparisons. We test these year after year, and they kind of drop the ball year after year. So the XM5s outperform the Bose in the highs, the mids, and lows, and it is not even close for me. And finally, all right, it's time to put the AirPods Max to the test against the XM5s. I put them head to head with the XM4s last time, but what happens this year with the XM5s and these AirPods Max that are $150 more expensive? The AirPods Max have adaptive EQ and all of the Apple ecosystem benefits, but come on now, the XM5s, these are no chumps. So let's do this.
It's time for the binaural experience.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be there. And if you get blue, I got the loving for you. Yeah. I'll be there. Your heartache, it kills me, but your loving, it thrills me. I'll be there.
Wow, okay. So I think that there are moments and genres of music where this sounds really close, but I'm still leaning towards the AirPods Max that have a cleaner and deeper bass and a bigger sound stage overall. I mean, there are times where you can hear the highs of the XM5s really pronounced, but I also think that the AirPods Max have an overall more balanced sound. I think really the last song is really where you have these clean vocals, clean instruments, and the AirPods Max, they just make that song freaking come alive. And again, the XM5s are no chump by any means, but you know, I'm taking the sound quality of the AirPods Max over the XM5s. And quite honestly, for $150 more, I'd be really let down if they didn't deliver with the sound quality. But even if they sound great, AirPods Max, these are not my go-to headphones. You know, I'm in the Apple ecosystem, and the only time that I really use them is when I'm watching Dolby Atmos content with spatial audio on my Apple TV when maybe people are sleeping, or on my iPad, but they're just too heavy to wear for really long times and also bulky to carry with me on trips, even though, you know, the case now is around the same size as the XM5. So with all the new improvements and all the new design, the Sony XM5s, these are still, they're gonna be my everyday carry because of just this total package of their weight, their portability, their sound quality, all their features. I mean, I will say, after doing a lot of testing, that this single piece headband here, it is more narrow. It just honestly isn't as comfortable as the wider one on the XM4s, and it's not uncomfortable for me, but it's just not as comfortable as before. And then you have these ear cups. Not only are they a little wider now, they're also not as tall, right? They have a lower profile compared to the XM4s. And then also this, I think this new synthetic leather, it is a little firmer, and maybe it's supposed to be more durable, but for me, it didn't feel less comfortable on the ears, and being 4 grams lighter overall for these headphones probably helps with that too. I also forgot to mention that you can still, when you wear these, you can still hold your hand over the right ear cup to hear outside audio like bus or subway announcements when you need to. So that's still there. But I think, you know, when I look at these critically, the biggest missing piece for the XM5s is support for Dolby Atmos and spatial audio, because it is pretty much widespread for both music and especially TV shows and movies. And I get that Sony, they're sticking with Sony's 360 reality audio platform because it's Sony's, and you know, it just hasn't been adopted widespread. There's really a limited amount of tracks to listen to from the music services that even have them. So give me Dolby Atmos and spatial audio for these, and then I really will have nothing to complain about or criticize them for. But Sony XM5s, these are still the best all-around noise-canceling headphones in that $400 price range for me, and they're gonna be really very hard to top. They do retail for $399, and I just can't say enough good things about the XM5s because they absolutely delivered on making my favorite everyday carry noise-canceling headphones even better, and now I just gotta get them in that sweet silver color.